people's live streams on YouTube suck because they make this really user unfriendly. So this is the BTS feed. I'm going to go live momentarily on Stevo's 312 where you can see the full Air product. I can go live for 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Okay, let's the working equipment here. Okay, let's over here. Alrighty. I'm gonna go over here. Alright, good. It actually snowed this morning. Got a little of that shot. I'm just gonna. Alright, let's schedule stream, create new, please. So I'm going to read you later today, later in this stream, an article that's a year old now, just turned a year old yesterday with from Newsweek, and it's disgusting because it's a millennial aged professional and stuff like that. I'll talk more at some point. I'll share because obviously this is going to be because I'm going to be compiling, so that's going to take some time. I should actually get that situated because normally I use domains. So I'll put a comment and I'll tag 312. Can I chat on here? I should be able to chat. It's been a while since. Yeah, shut up, Google. Welcome to live chat. Yeah, I know. I don't need to know the community guidelines. I just want to. All right. I guess I can't chat. I want to highlights. Oh, this platform is so complex. Oh, you bitch. The birds are chirping. We had snow this morning, as I mentioned earlier. I took a picture. It was like 20 minutes later. It was disappearing. Oh, let's look at the subscriptions for Proxmox. It's not in American dollars, whatever. It's community. Oh, it's on a yearly basis. Community euro, 115 euro. Where in the hell is it in American dollars? Because there are American customers. I mean, at least it's cheaper than, say, VMware. I mean, good God. All right, so let's go to Fusion 1. Going to make another snapshot. All right, I should start streaming, shouldn't I? On this side, I was going to start at 1 o'clock on the dot. Okay. Oh, I don't have the right display on. That's what's going on here. ESS. Oh. Oh, right. I'm on the right one. I'm on the right one. I'm on the right one. Alrighty, folks. Live and global. I already drank. What's this? It's a 24-ounce Starbucks cup that I bought in Vegas on my way back home. Was it 6 years now? Jamie Crickett's alive. And I was at Starbucks on Tuesday, and I had apparently 40. Let's see. I bought a grande times 3. Yes, 48 ounces of coffee. That's why I didn't get much sleep Wednesday morning. It was 2 of these with 3 grandes. Oops. Because of the free refills at when you're hanging out there and teleworking, which is what I was doing for the Museum of Telephony. If you've not checked out TMOT, I've added the glossary, all right? Let me click for .net/TMOT test. And because I'm working on the site, so I'm going to at some point I'm going to read this article to you folks from Newsweek. This is just freaking hilarious. Millennials, and unfortunately this there's this overeducated broad I'm gonna read this because at some point we're gonna have to kill some time. All right, now did I make a I need to do, I need to snapshot the Fusion instance. I'll link, to watch last night's, part 1. I don't know if it, alright, so now I'm going to take a snapshot. This only will take a few moments, but I just rather do and include RAM. No, I don't want to include what's on the RAM. I just want what's on the hard drive. And did it complete itself? Yeah, it gives me this error message of that I don't have protection against thin pools running out of space. What thin pool mean is when your hard drive, you might have it allocated for, let's say, 80 gigs, and let's say you have a terabyte hard drive and you have 80 gigs, and you 9 times out of 10 you may not max out the entire hard drive, so you might skimp out and have different virtual hard drives. You're never going to max it out, but sometimes you may run into that. And also, depending on what kind of hard drive you have provisioned in the virtual settings, it could be raw, which is like a hard, like literally a hard drive. Proxmox is kind of confusing. Oh, all right, so it already did that. All right, that's interesting. It's very fast. Helps when you have modern hardware. Modern, and it's like a year, 10 years old. All right, so I'm going to go to the terminal. I'm already logged in. Now the next thing I have to do on the Fusion PBX is I'm still on. I don't think I shut it down. I don't think I did. I just logged out from the other login. I'm on the weekly zoo account. All right, so now I'm going to type in, if you guys are watching on 312, I'm going to paste the command that it's going to fetch the Fusion PBX code. All right, this is kind of like how the App Store works in the world of open source. It goes on the internet, fetches for a script, batch file, to then pull it from the internet, to put it into the computer. It's unbelievable because I like, oh, this is how you compile stuff. Oh, if it's connected to the internet and stuff like that, I am because Linux works a little differently in terms of how it fetches information or its code, because really what you're doing is just installing raw code. But now, and as you see here, it's going to pull the turnkey, because that's the distro that I'm using. So it's just doing this again, but I just wanted to be safe and just follow the script. This really don't need to be doing this, but I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. So dependency. Oh, that could be the thing. Could be a dependency thing. Right. Exactly. Latest release. There you see the cloning into Fusion install the shell or script, whatever the command is. All right, so now it did all that. So now I think the ampersand sign is the return, because normally this looks like this would be two different commands. Okay, Fusion USR SRC. All right. And this is going to take a while. So now it's going to pull. Again, notice how this has repeated itself again, but at this point it should be. think you could do, and I mean, this is just kind of the, um, oh, the Sudo command never works in Debian. You just, I don't know why it's inserted in here, but I just copy and pasted this part, then this part, and I'm in root, so that should work. And obviously, I followed that command, I believe, that one, the vertical bar. No, that's the one. Yeah, it's doing it again. It's unpacking. I'll keep this up. And all right, I'm going to read this to you folks because this is kind of, let's entertain while we wait for the home directory. Okay. All right, let's read this freaking, this will make you depending on what kind of mood you're in. um I love my child. I hate his. Can I put this on reader mode so I can see this clutter? Does it work on the desktop Mac? I thought it could. Let's see. Here we go. So it's not. Yeah. Oh, it looks like it's almost looks like it's a printout. All right. All right. This is first word. I got to read this thoroughly before sharing this. But Langston Hughes professed, go home, write a page tonight, and let that page come out of you. That will be true. I'm a 42-year-old. I guess she's got to be 43-year-old now. So it's a year and a day old. Mother of two boys, youngest of whom is autistic. It's been 8 years since his diagnosis, and I never, at this point, likely will never believe the cliche that autism is a blessing or a gift to our lives. So she thinks it's a cliche, and she's probably listening to the hashtag actually autistics, because this is what leads to division, right? This may not sound like a particularly brave or inspiring. Say that time. This may not sound like a particularly brave or inspiring proclamation, but the culture of autism parenting. Oh, she just said the word culture of autism parenting. It shouldn't be a culture to begin with. It's not terribly difficult from the culture of motherhood in general, or can be one of toxic positivity, or just the sharing. Social media, fellow parents of special needs children, or otherwise, and even medical professionals may have led us to understand that while we may think negatively about autism, we are not encouraged to express it. You shouldn't, because you might as well just kill your child. I mean, seriously. We are not supposed to talk about how hard it is watching your child in a different can be different in a world that fears differences, or how venturing out of the public can be as frightening as for you as it is for your child. We aren't supposed to say how sad it is to admit that he will realistically never catch up with his peers, live alone, or raise a family, or how lonely as we as autism parents. Pick me mom with his special needs is the cover. That's what I call these morons. Or how lonely we as autism parents sometimes are. Instead of we're supposed to embrace the journey, we're supposed to find the joy. We're supposed to appreciate that God only gives these children those who can handle it. We're supposed to be grateful for what we have, for it can always be done. Looks like a typical millennial. This is Beth Bell, who I believe is, yeah, this is her. This is the writer. Yeah, she looks. Do I need to say more? At least he's happy. At least he's healthy. He could be nonverbal. He could have cancer. He could have been born with a pig stamp. I recognize that's when someone else offers this perspective, the sentiment is well meaning. Indeed, it's not to say that autism is without positive effects. When I started teaching high school English in 2004, I feared autism. Here we go, millennials. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. My knowledge of it was limited to my textbook education. I only know the surface. And when I experienced it as firsthand as a young teacher, I found that these students' impenetrable ambiguities sometimes is disruptive, and the parents overprotective and overbearing. Exactly. These children were frequently isolated and ostracized, yeah, as adults, who were often so bright, their quirks and social inequities made them at worst the weird kids, still to this day, and at best patronized by a charitable laugh or a smile from a benevolent peer. The only prospect I dreaded more than having an autistic student in class was bearing an autistic child myself. Where are the violins? I mean, she dreaded more than having an autistic student in class than bearing an autistic myself. I, I don't talk about my conditions a gift, right? But no one says you have to listen to every Nehan. Okay, but to say this so bluntly without any sensitivity is an insult to the hierarchical child. My experience as an autism mom, again, see, I don't like that identity. I don't like that at all. I think it's dangerous. And I feel like this is going in a loop here on the time that I follow instructions. Okay. At some point, it's gotta Did it say to restart the system? No. Please ensure your server has been fully updated first, right? Then run the following as root. Okay. I feel like 1386. I've seen that number before. All right, well, let's go back to this autism mom. Practicing kindness and acceptance has trumped teaching content and skills. I speak about my autistic son regularly, his traits, his oddities, the good and bad days to normalize autism for students with autism or those who have been affected by it. Okay, but it still doesn't make up for what you had just said in the last graph. I connect with some parents with my autistic students deeply personal and emotional levels. I try to make effort to understand these students to get the other students to know and understand them. I've become the Liberty Island of autistic children. Give me your awkward, your lonely, your excluded masses yearning to breathe free. But I mean, come on, this inevitably mirrored my personal life. I am more patient, understanding, and tolerant of both my son and sometimes the cruel people around him. It's taken me growing time, but now I share him the world with all his autistic glory. In my classroom, I speak openly and candidly about him. Again, why is she she's talking in two ends of her mouth. I speak openly and candidly about him. When I see strangers in public observing or whispering about him, I politely address them, not to shame or criticize, but to educate, enlighten, um, to explain, educate, and enlighten others. I must admit that, however, my overt and raw discussions about my autistic son are also self-serving. While currently in third grade, where both students and staff love him, the scary worlds of middle and high school are rapidly approaching. Mm-hmm. And despite my personal evolution towards autistic individuals, I'm sad to report that the demeanor of 1990s bullies whom I grew up has endured. Mm-hmm. Yeah, millennials are the coolest shit on the planet. Said no one ever. Um, as I know he will be picked on, he'll be laughed at, even worse, he'll be excluded. Therefore, my stories about and discourse about him are thinly veiled with um thinly veiled. Please be nice to him. Please don't pick him. Please protect my son. As an autism mom, I've experienced this isolation myself, even amongst my loving and compassionate friends. While they ask about him and his progress, our parental anecdotes will never be equal or even similar. They laugh when I laugh. They cry when I cry. But when it's done of kindness, not understanding. They will likely be sad to know that I secretly endure their child's accomplishments and with resentment or jealousy. I get all this, but do you put this in a magazine? Well, they express bittersweet sentimentality over their children growing up. My own child's stuck in their perpetual toddlerhood, and he's growing older, as only brings new anxiety and fear. As I am a passive participant in our conversations about parenting, he's often reduced to Mr. Rochester's invalid wife, acknowledged and discussed among us, but then safely stowed away. The most genuine, authentic connections come from other autism moms, and usually formed organically through special needs classes or ASC parent support groups. Even then, however, this unfiltered and unadulterated communication about our autistic children is limited to our safety of our private conversations. Well, it should be. This is because the difficulties of autism, like so many other conditions in life, is not understood until you know and until you are living them. Only an autism parent, what about the individual that's living with it, will know why potty training my son till he was 3 will be forever my life's greatest accomplishment. They will understand why my son cannot handle the seemingly simple act of going to a movie theater. Not only they will not judge me for excluding him from family vacations that require flying on a plane. Only they can truly share their joy of successful haircut, teeth cleaning, or a trip to a new store. I can then admit to them and now to the world that I've accepted this road that we are on and will continue to fight for my son and believe that every ounce of his potential. I will never be grateful for his tumultuous journey. Again, there's a way you could write this in a small graph. That's what they would say to me. I'll forever torment myself in wondering what in life for him what life for him and us may have looked like. With all the grief, I will still cry in anger and sadness at the unexpected times of the loss of the life that we would have had, we thought we'd have, and we had planned so carefully for. I always wish that I could take his autism away. Before that I'm judged for this perspective, let me be plentifully clear. I love my autistic son purely and desperately, but my experience as an autism mom has allowed me to fully realize, appreciate the paradox that two things can be true at once. Mothers, fathers, and caregivers do not have to gaslight themselves into believing that loving our child means embracing and loving autism. The truth is that I'll forever love my child, but I'll forever hate that he's autistic. Um, Even that I think is crossing the line. Wonder what this URL's taking me to. Oh, it's her LinkedIn. um yeah, this is um yeah, millennials haven't changed. They're so self-centered. They're still they drive me bananas because it's gonna be a very lonely world when the boomers and the Xers pass away. You know, I look at my own family and how they look at me. You know, my closest cousins. You know, they only connected me through the apps, through social media. So it's like I said, I think that the activists need to really tone down their rhetoric. ASAN, I'm sick and tired of like the people who like they they say things like, "Oh, autism doesn't speak anything for me," or that they're a hate group. I don't think that's even. They're not the KKK of the neurodivergent world, but they they they're not. It's it, it's a very hard theme, but of course there's no nuance whatsoever. It's the identity. People choose to be different, so you know you gotta embrace it. You know, and um, I just don't think sharing your child's worst moments all the time is a good thing. Um, you know, I think there needs to be a nuance to that, but you know, every April, you know, it's, you know, you take all this energy to try to be inclusive, but nothing ever gets done. Nothing ever will be done. It's gonna always be this every April, and you have to come to that level of acceptance. But you know, I'm tired of hearing people say, you know, like I don't like the we either. That they'll say the we, you know, we gotta um you know, come together kind of a thing. And it just doesn't work that way. And every April, every year that goes by, um, you know, I think what scares me a lot is how people do not understand how we're inching towards eugenics. Um, that scares me too. Um, and and it should be a scary thing to think about. Just given what Hitler and the Nazis did back in the day. It's gonna be in a different you know, I try to tell people this, you know, you got to be concerned about this, and people say, oh, there are people in the government that probably has somebody on the spectrum, so they're not gonna, they'll resist. Yeah, like this chick, there's probably more people like her, and she's from upstate New York. That chick has been teaching high school English literature in composition for 20 years in her hometown in upstate New York. She's a married mother of 2 boys. Strong advocate, speaking candidly about the vulnerabilities of the realities and complexities of parenting special needs children. I want to drive off the George Washington Bridge like Allison Singer. Is that what you're really trying to say? Where's the line? Because it kind of ties into what's going on here. It's like, I think I should say that Beth Reguillo Bell, I can't pronounce her name. She could be one of those eugenics types. Who knows? You know. Right. I did see on the console while I was reading the ridiculously poorly written logic. That this is the Fusion PBX code. So kind of moving a little bit forward here. Which one was it? It was the what was it? The web server. Where is it? The NG next, whatever the hell that thing is called. So let's continue. And if these work well, we might very well do a live stream of testing phones, if that works. They're not up here, they're downstairs, but I might do a stream down there today, depending on if this thing works. But yeah, millennials, I just was trying to find the link on my Facebook page at Hopeless Autistic, and I couldn't find it, but I found some other weird stuff that just, I think millennials just don't get us. Because, you know, they're just like Gen X. When I was a kid, there was only one weird one in the building, or a couple, yeah, it's a lonely world too. Like, I could literally take her word about the middle and high school and an adult life where, you know, I was abandoned by my own peers and I live a lonely world because I screw up only a handful of times a week. It's yeah. So I wonder where I should go. Like, should I move to Arizona? Like what I've seen on the news hour where they did a piece a few years back. I think that's where I found out. But I'm like, but what if that place? But what if that region goes under siege? You know, the Northeast. I would say the Northeast portion of the country. I think they for services and funding, right? For services and funding, but what results in your outcome, right? There's you know, just because you live in an area where you get a lot of services doesn't entail you'll get quality services or support. So, you know, it's I don't know. So if you guys didn't know, I did a video, I did a live stream on Valentine's Day talking about the other gender, and I don't know if I've said it. I don't remember if I've said it anywhere, but I found the cutie on Facebook. I might have, forgive me, it's been a long month and a half. a long first quarter. Um, I haven't I haven't got heard anything back, but I don't think she's on Facebook that much. But I don't think. Well, I don't know. I should check. Let me see if I check on Messenger to see if the message got open. Because I did send her a message, like a wave, some emoji. Excuse me, and I'll probably nag her again in like May. Because I messaged her in March, and then earlier in the month, last month, and then I sent that wave emoji 2 weeks later. Then I said to myself, I'll nag her in May, and then May becomes September, and then you just nag like incrementally. Um, oh, where the hell is Messenger? There you go. Yeah, it said it's delivered, but because I don't think she's on the platform that much, which is not a problem. Yeah, that's better than being chronically online. Um, oh, there was an interesting there's an interesting article in Business Week where the with Texas cutting their education, Austin's kind of like a Middlesex County down in the deep south, but there's this new university called the University of Austin, which I guess Barry Weiss founded a few years back. It's an anti-woke university, but it's not accredited. It's just like a veneer of a like a fancy trade school, and that William Costello guy that I have did on the purple pill pod, where you saying that young men with autism are incels. It's like that's where he's based. I mean, there's a lot of screwball people on pods. The Diary of the CEO had a body language expert who I think what's her name, Yui Cat, um trashed for frightful reasons, because I think she's one of those Evo psych worshippers, evolutionary psychology, and yeah, it's like there's just no standards whatsoever in academia or intelligentsia. It's just um worse than rednecks. Ugh. Where's this world coming to, people? You want the boy next door to tell you that the how did I get over to Evo Psych? What Oh, because I was looking on my app. That's what led me to think that. I'll put a link on it. I mean, you need to have Apple News Plus to read it, but I spend $12 a month to try to support journalism. So yeah. So going back to the girl. um. So I mentioned on Valentine's Day about I she's I hope her Facebook dings, if she even uses it. Um, I think she seldomly uses Facebook. I looked at her profile this morning. Um, why that was on? Oh, because it was like I think I was looking at friend requests. Um, let me find. I'm not gonna give her Facebook information. Oh yeah, November last year. It was her last public facing. post. Yeah, she's so I mentioned, I can't remember exactly what I said on the live stream about, like, what were the signs, other than that she was very pleasant as the baseline, always above pleasant. I think it was the telltale sign. But it's kind of interesting I'm talking about this girl again, um, because when I went to Portsmouth over 2 years ago, something told me, because looking back at it, it was November of 22, and I went there, and I kind of like was attracted to her, but at the same time, she just happened to be cute. And again, the flirtiness, I had to go there a handful of times to kind of rule out what the rule out what that, trying to rule it out. So it's like, um something told me on that time when I went there the first time, or at least that, looking back from the first visit, that she there was something about her. Um, she was very accommodating, very understanding, very empathetic, very completely unlike that chick that I had on the screen a little bit ago, the freaking millennial, right? So there was something about her with that she was a little bit different, but also she was hitting on me, which I think part of it, I think back at it, is she it was a shock to me, quite honestly. Like, it was such a shock that that someone would just, because I think I couldn't think that she thought I was not divergent, or I was divergent. Like, she had I think she had known something. Um, and when I said it to her last November, it didn't phase her because she kind of knew, right? So it's one of those, like, I've not had somebody in my life that actually had. I get nervous talking about her, but it's one of those things where, like, it never happened before, and it might be the last time. And I've been thinking about it a little bit more, and it's like, that's why I'm talking about it, even though I'm kind of like half-witted trying to fumble through the thoughts, because it's just so it's still very raw that someone kind of liked me or likes me, or something on that, somewhere on that line, and it's not a scandal like what so often people want to weaponize. This, like I said, this is not normally a good month for me, because I just feel so like, I feel so like invalidated, and I don't like being alone. I hate that feeling. It's not like I don't hate my own autism. I hate it when people are like trying to make me look like I'm a bad person all the time. Like, yes, I wake up every morning out of my bed trying to be an asshole. Said no one ever. Um. All right. Let me. I need to go to. I always have issues when I write files on the. I need to remotely access one of the servers. This one's a virtual. Come on. permissions get a little screwy. And let me tell you, like, I standardized using the macOS server as the file server, and I don't regret doing it, even though I've moved the hardware over the years and failures in between all that. But for the most part, I'm better than Windows. And anytime I would use Windows and TFS, the files were fucking corrupt, particularly metadata. It didn't like metadata. I gotta fill up for a drink at some point. And it's much more like straightforward compared to like Windows, which is just like a pain in the ass. I'm on the other side of the tracks in case you guys didn't know. I don't know. Yep, the wind must be, or the air must be so still for the train tracks, the freight train that's probably going from the Manchester to Nashua. It's probably Lowell. Sounds cool, doesn't it? I don't know if the mic's picked it up. I'll see if I can edit it and maybe make a short of it. All right. So it's gonna make a change to the web folder, so then I can try to access this. Oh, I got a call coming in. God, come on, give me a moment.
Hi.
What? What?
Did you hear that train?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was calling to make a joke to say, did you have a ticket for the train? You just missed it.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
And that's the joke of the day. Bye.
Bye. Oh, I forgot to mute. You guys heard the combo. I meant to mute that feed. I forgot to mute here, but my mother was saying something about catching my ride or whatever. The ticket to the train. I only get to Conway see what Grab Road, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Yeah, I forgot to mute the other feed. My mother was just calling to make a joke of the other side of the, not the other side. No, it was her in the going for my ride, the ticket for my ride on the train. And yeah. Anyhowsers. How long is this bitch gonna take? Is it repeating itself? It shouldn't be repeating itself. My god. Slow as molasses. Alright, so that's completed. So once I go back to the other system, I'll log out the local routes. No one's gonna try to breach into the system. Close you out, log you out, close you up. And while this continues to work here, this is like, oh yes, where is my music when I you know, I'm surprised I didn't do it last night, but that's why I don't have it. We're waiting. I quit this before I hit content ID and then ruin my entire work here. Oh, because this is an older browser. That's why I have the Google search. I'm feeling lucky. Miss those days when you... Yeah, I miss it too. I'm feeling lucky. I get Google Doodles. Okay. Let me look at this one too. Asterisk versus PBX again for my telephony folks here. This is from last year. I read that there's a distro called Free PBX that comes with the Asterisk built in with a web-based manager. I downloaded it and spun up a VoIP is fun, play around. Alright, let's... Oh, right, from the source's mouth. Is it a good PBX? I love how men are so minimal. It's good. Is it really good? Good? No. No, I think well, I did play around with Fusion PBX, and when I did for like 10 minutes or less yesterday before I screwed it up, I part of it is shared call appearances, like the key phone system where if you have like a work group of people and you, instead of transferring call or just putting them on hold and pick up, and also, you know, I don't know who the voice is on the Fusion because I hadn't tested it beyond that point, but I mean, what really turns me off is Allison Stewart. I mean, I think that's her name. And she just sounds like it's almost like she's trying to compensate, trying to mock the phone system, but also you're the voice of the phone system. It's just very um shallow in the nature. Let's see. The heart of the internet. Is that what the nickname is of Reddit? Yeah, the internet. I don't know. That word's so over. Yeah, it's so over. Uh, oh, it's because it's probably a little old. That's the issue here. I'm running. I need to. I need to update Mac OS. When was this written? Doesn't have a date. What is Asterisk? An Asterisk, in fact, is a communications toolkit, not a ready-to-go PBX. It has a lot of functionality that someone needs to craft into something. That something is most often happens to be a PBX, but it doesn't have to be a PBX. These engineers don't know how to write. That's so contradicting. It could be a contact center software, yeah, that they'll come with it. An ACD, automatic call distributor, a voicemail system, a video mail system, 9PBX, and so much more. Someone could even add their own IoT hooks and turn it into something other than a communication system. By the way, we are demoing something like that on FreePX, so come see it. Free PBX, per to the definition of freepbx.org, is a web-based open source GUI that controls and manages Asterisk. Like I said before, so it's a GUI built on top of Asterisk to make it easier to deploy PBX that from that Asterisk core. From in the graphic above, which would be right here, it's one of the items that would appear to be in the blue box. It's a complete IP PBX. So, like I've said on the museum telephony, I call it a daemon that does telephony. So these are two separate open source projects. Sagmonia continues to support both projects. If you want to hear more, please attend AstraCon next week in Atlanta. Wonder when that was, which was Seattle. Oh, yeah. 2026, yeah. Oh, this one was in Florida. Yeah. I wouldn't go to an Astros conference. I don't. Yeah, there's no date on this, but it probably was like before the merger. That logo's so weird. Let's see, a 2013 post on what is now 3CX. Asterisk started out, yeah, that's a nice definition. And it is basically a platform that covers the main switch functions. Free PBX came along to make it easier to use a GUI with some extra tools, huge for new users. Elastic's, which is no longer, or Isabel actually. Asterisk 1.4 is a version that made Asterisk the worldwide well-known product it is. God, this guy sounds like a salesperson. 1.8, however, moved on to a new platform. Releases 1.8 is the long-term supported version that will be. That means years or more updates and patches supported. I think in 2012 they moved it to version like 10. They inflated it. Something like that. But now let me do free PBX versus free switch. As this thing is still continuing to like repeat the same. I think it looks like it's repeating in itself, but I'd rather just let it do its thing. Both Asterisk and FreeSwitch are open source carrier grade telephony platforms. The FreeSwitch is known for its modular architecture, better performance, media intensive applications, and native web RTC support, while Asterisk is wider community, more online resources, and more gentler learning curve, making it suitable for VoIP needs. I think it's the way it was scripted too, the way that the there we go. This phone might give me a better um but it doesn't really matter whether one is more superior or inferior. FreeSwitch are two widely used platforms in developing VoIP solutions in the VoIP industry. They are powerful enough for developers to create or intricate VoIP solutions for teamwork and communication, in addition to being open source tech. Like support systems. The Asterisk platform has drawbacks, which led to the creation of FreeSwitch in 2006. Anthony Mizensail, a well-known Asterisk developer, made the decision to create a software from scratch to address some of the alleged problems with the Asterisk platform. One of those things are those shared call appearances. This was later popularly known as FreeSwitch. If you're wondering why the switch to traditional VoIP, wondering why the to switch from traditional VoIP. Alright, here's the more techier stuff. The heart of every Asterisk system is the dial plan. It's the scripting language, and the modules there are used to give the instructions to the Asterisk system through the configuration directory. Developers may implement a variety of capabilities, including call reception on a particular SIP channel, call connection to IVR or auto attendant, or dial plan based call routing. Asterisk configuration are stored as standard text files, so it's like a script. FreeSwitch adopts a different strategy. The system was created in C, and the core programming, so it's more like an app. And it was the core programming was better organized. FreeSwitch uses processing threads that operate uniformly through the memory, in contrast to the Asterisk approach, which each channel its own thread and memory space. On the most fundamental level, both technologies offer the majority of the same functionality: voicemail, call recording, auto attendant. Notice I'm not saying IVR menus should be available on every FreeSwitch development or Asterisk-based switch on the market. With any design, the steps involved in constructing instructions and gateways are similar. Nevertheless, depending on the server's core memory, server's memory and core performance, different systems of users may be supported. For communications with other Asterisk systems, the Asterisk needs the proprietary IX protocol, but FreeSwitch is not constrained in this regard. Multi-tenancies. So FreeSwitch is kind of like more like an ESS in the phone company. From what I gathered, it's more like a carrier grade system. One of the FreeSwitch features is its capability to support multiples or support several tenants. But as a result, many user branches may use a single FreeSwitch system as a unique entities under their own domains or subdomains. For multi-tenancy to function on Asterisk systems, costly proprietary systems must be constructed at the time of the Asterisk software development. Clustering. Asterisk is primarily made to operate on a single system. Using a single PBX server to install all its rows is equivalent to placing all your eggs in one basket. Thus, it is advised to divide each system performing a given function into a distinct server for large scale or enterprise level PBX servers, i.e., distributed architecture, while free PBX or free switch solutions makes it simple for separate systems in a cluster to execute while individual duties. Accomplishing this with asterisk is difficult. Instant messaging ability. Systems like Asterisk and FreeSwitch offer cutting edge communication features like conferencing, video calling, and chat. Unfortunately, the majority of Asterisk systems need an add on for IM functionality, which businesses must pay extra fees for. With FreeSwitch, the only requirements are that the XMPP service is enabled and the end devices are correctly set up for instant messaging. So, yeah, that's interesting. Let's see if it has PBX forms from 2021. I love FreeSwitch and using it for years in my business, later for my family, and now my extended friends and family. I wanted to decide it's worth it. Getting stuck in one GUI, I found the Asterisk open source GUI providers providing support way more features and incredible value. For example, look at Vital PBX plans here. I wonder if FreeSwitch is worth having no option other than Fusion PBX. Is there really big such difference? And here we go, second reply. Asterisk, it's not truly multi-tenant, so depending on your setup, this could be a con. It's mainly starts becoming an issue when you keep locations separate. I've used free PBX and see each install seems to be different, have its own quirks. It works, but having a separate server for each client makes it hard to manage. Module updates seem to break things often. I'm new to Fusion, but still learning, but I like it. It's more of a learning curve, but it's more of open sense knowing how it's working. Free PBX shoots out so many errors and warnings on a clean install and startup. Free Switch is and was developed by the original Asterisk team to shore up Asterisk's shortcomings. The only thing you have to do is give it a shot and see if how it works your needs. Asterisk has been around for a long time and still is used by millions of people. Good luck. Someone wrote back saying it threw no errors. It seems very slick and it's multi-tenant. I'm very impressed with it so far. Thanks for your reply. Since you know both Vital and Fusion, can you please kindly tell me why you chose Fusion over Vital or FreeSwitch over Asterisk? Guy named John. When you say kindly, it sounds like someone from a certain country that I won't say. All right, this is taking a very long time. Oh wait, I didn't scroll. Oh, actually, got to the point here as I was talking, and okay, that's all the X11. All right, so now I'm just going to keep this on screen here because it is getting into the enumerating objects. So alright, seems like it's downloading more stuff. Oh, the G++, that's gonna, I think that's the compiler. I'm gonna just do a little Instagram. So this is really boring because I didn't think it would take this long for this to implement, but it's because it's an old adult system, but at least you're getting somewhere here. This is so anytime you install a package, it will like do a full blown like system wide patching. When it comes to choosing a powerful and flexible open source platform for building communication application, two names often come up. I don't I don't know how many people on YouTube talk or even on the groups talk about free switch. Because I'm thinking about maybe doing free switch for whatchamacallit, Funnet, Funco. Um so what's that, Sophia Sip? Okay. Because that's another thing too with asterisk is Nate spelled asterisk wrong. Go figure. Yeah, because I don't get the whole PJ SIP driver because some of my SIP devices wouldn't communicate on it, so that's a pain in the ass. I mean, it all depends. I think people just use it for preference more, even though I think Fusion does a little bit better. So speaking about asterisk, I'm gonna just pivot to another talking point here. Because I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to get into the free PBX instance. Oh, and it's statically assigning IP address. Oh, maybe I didn't do it. Maybe that's why. Alright, let's go to admin. Not interested. Oh, shut up. Shut up. So this one I implemented, just this was for testing purposes. So this is running on my new PowerEdge server, virtually through Proxmox. Because I can manage both of these because they're clustered. I finally got the cluster to work. The other thing I was trying to do was OSS Endpoint Manager. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta change the package server. That's part of it. I was trying to do this a few years ago, like around the time Graham was passing. And I need to, so there's another phone system, and this is what I'm looking for. And asterisk is going through another version inflation. So for instance, so what I'm doing here is I'm on the free PBX instance, and a lot of the VoIP phones, how they work like office phones, there has to be a magic to it, and in case of incredible PBX, this thing's a pain in the ass to install. I tried this on VMware and VirtualBox. This is kind of like free PBX in a different way. They do some more fancier stuff, but I couldn't get it to run on whatchamacallit. What is it? Proxmox. So I need, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Copy for package server, which would be, yeah. And this is, they rolled this out in February of last year, and I tried this in late 2023. So, yeah. All right. So then you should be able to go to the project configuration. No, where is my, this is the products. Okay. Can you just shut the fuck up, please? Thank you. We'll just, no, I need to change the IP address on here, and so I don't need this anymore. It's gonna take, this is taking a very long time. Package manager. My firewall that I connect that's not related to the VPN is the Ubiquity. So I kind of like, if I'm testing something that needs to be exposed to the internet, I know I'm behind a really strong net. Although I had to work on updating it and monitoring it, and that's been a process in itself. So okay, let's what? Try. Wow, people don't know how to spell anymore, don't they? All right, where is the check for updates on the for search? Oh, that but see what I mean? We don't know how to spell, idiots. So let me close you up. And so again, this is an asterisk instance. It's free PBX. It's one of the more newer versions. What this traditionally was the GUI facade to asterisk, like I said earlier. I'll put time codes here in the description. So you know where I'm going at. This was just a screw around with. Yep, I have the 480. I do not have the 480, and I don't have any of these other models enabled. Okay, that's, yep, I have a few of them. Don't need any of the other guys. And 940. Oh, that's another gen. I'll just close her up. There's one. Oh, for what? Can't get that. Audio codes. I don't have audio codes. I do have a bunch of Cisco's. The 7961. Oh, the 7800. I just bought those recently. A couple of those. And the 79. Oh, they have the 70. Oh, guy. Those are the legacy phones. So a lot of times, if you guys are familiar with the legacy Cisco phones, their screen phones got the red on the handset, the red clear thing. They were in The Office TV series, the American edition. That particular model, in fact, I believe The Office used entirely the 7960, not even the 61. the 7940 and the 7960 are basically how do I describe it? They're Pixel phones. The 7941, 7961, 7962s, 42s, and the 45s, all the models that were made like after like I don't know 2006, used the it had a more higher resolution, it had crisper, could run pictures on the background. It had a Java front end. The Java was on top, not literally as well, but it was a Java phone, a screen phone, a more fancier screen phone. And that's why they're really difficult to put in because it's very fixated on a very perfect XML code. That's why a lot of people say that they're hard to install. I don't have any spa phones right now. Oh, those are the analog. And these are the phones. All right, 5XX and 3XX. I hate doing the XXX. I just say 300s, 500 model, just write it like that. Like, don't talk like an engineer to normal people. Here we go, the 900. Those are, I think, were before Cisco took those over, I think. All right, Digim, don't have that one. Grandstream I did because I bought some. Oh, those are the really older ones. Oh, Mitel. 2014. Oh, that's old. Oh, really? Not the 5224s? Still that. And Polyscum. Delta VPX 300 series. All right, that's good to know. That's not 26. Oh, 2016. That's a long time ago. Not updated. Three kilobytes, that's 3 megabyte, 3.9 megabytes in 13 seconds. Boy. I'm going to sign off in 4 minutes. 320. That's all I have for Psalms. Alright, so now we can apply. Or does it auto apply? I forget. So there's going to be a part 3, unfortunately. And I'm gonna have to work on that later today. I might do a stream. I'll be on 312 most likely. If I get a black screen and yeah, see, it's all so like yawn. Okay. So the way it is, I gotta create an extension here, which I haven't done yet. I am really not in the mood to doing that. So yeah, there's enough with modern phones. Oh, there's Josie UCX guy. Yeah, I had this.
And the UCX from email.
I gotta get that video uploaded from him from the TMOT days. I gotta get that video edited. I got so many things to do in that regard too. It's yep. All right, folks. Heading off now. This is gonna take a while. I bet you anything, because when I signed off yesterday, like 10 minutes later, I was done patching. Actually, I'm not sure if I want it. I'll snooze 5 more minutes just in case. What I'm gonna do is, if this does finish, I'm gonna just do the initial setup of the system, and then I'll put in the phones, because we're talking about phones for almost an hour and a half, 2 hours. Just watch this whole Joe's UCX guy. What was this? 2014 he posted this. That's when we were in contact. I've not been in contact with him in a while. I think I was.
Hey everybody, it's Joe, the UCX
This
guy.
is so different than it was 10 years ago.
3 Nortel T7316s. Why do I have 3 of them all set up together? Well, I wanted to talk today about how